17th Serbian Month in Great Britain is taking place from 25th January to 9th March in 11 cities around the UK. Program of over 40 events include artists from Britain, artists from Serbia, but also some artists from different countries of the world, which are connected somehow to the Serbian culture. It is our great pleasure to be able to include in our program 2 concerts by Barcelona Gipsy BalKan Orchestra from Spain. Its unique blend on different musical traditions has captured hearts and minds of audience all around the world. And our guest today is a double bass player and founder of this band, Ivan Kovačević. And we are very glad that we have an opportunity to talk to him today and to find a little bit more about history of the band and what is happening behind the stage. Ivan, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me. We are very thrilled to come to for the very first time to England. We are very happy. We're looking forward.
Us as well, because I have heard you in Belgrade, and I'm really looking forward to hear you again on the concert in London, which is on 20th February, but you are also having a concert in Birmingham next day, 21st. But before we go to that, Barcelona Gipsy Band Orchestra was founded in 2012, and there are 12 years behind you. And in these 12 years, you did a lot, and you became a leading band of traditional BalKan and Eastern European music. And you have been touring around Europe mostly, but also outside of Europe, and had 35 countries that you visited. And as you are one of founding members, it's good to start from the very beginning. And if you can tell us a little bit about how it all started and how it developed further on.
I think it starts as a coincidence. Actually, it was we were very lucky to meet each other from completely different musical backgrounds and interesting. I never played BalKan music before this band, so there was one idea of 2 guys, accordion player and a clarinet player. They're not playing with us anymore. Actually, the clarinet players from Serbia, also from Belgrade, they had that idea to bring klezmer and BalKan music and gypsy music all together with the band in Barcelona. So they just call us. I mean, they called me. They were like, "You want to play?" I was like, "I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's see." So, but then we just started to try things, and we didn't know anything about BalKan music. We didn't know anything. So we were just trying to hear some new stories and tell them the way we think it should be told, like from our musical experience. And then we were starting some jam sessions, but everything happens very fast, very fast. I was really shocked because I had a lot of bands in my life, but never, ever happened so fast something. So it happens in June. We had like a first concert in 2012, and I came to the stage. I didn't know even the half of the band, so we were just playing. And then 6 months after, we record the first tunes with Sandra. I met her like in September, maybe the same year, and the next year we were already touring. We were lucky. I think we were lucky, and then we were start playing the jam sessions in Barcelona, and I think that was our like a base, in for everything we done after that.
What I found very interesting as a musician, that your band is a mixture of members of different origins. And kind of more mixed than usual BalKan bands, which are mostly people from the Balkans. So if I'm right, at the moment you have musicians from Italy, from France, from Spain, from Ukraine, Serbia, of course. And I remember there was a Greek guy as well. So it seems to me that mixture of members also reflects the repertoire you are performing. And I find very enjoyable that there is such a variety. It's slightly different than usual BalKan bands repertoire, which is concentrated most beyond the Balkans itself in terms of ex-Yugoslavia countries, possibly. Can you tell us a little bit about that working process and how you choose repertoire, who is choosing repertoire, who is making arrangements, how you overcome language barriers, because there is few Serbian songs, and I can see the girls are singing really well in Serbian. So, and how they get our language accepted, or traditions of every different regions.
Yeah, first of all, I think the most of people think that our our roots of our music is our different origins, geographic origins. I'm not sure about that actually. I think we are like a um, like a reflection of culture in Barcelona. We are just from, for us, it was normal until we start to play and people start to ask that we are from different countries. And we didn't even think about that. We all live in Barcelona, and that's how Barcelona is. You can, it's the city attracting the artists all over the world. It was always like that. And that's one of the things that why I like the city, why I stayed in the city for so long. Uh, I think the main issue is, like I said, our musical background. That I think that was our magical, like a powder. That because we didn't have any. We didn't have any walls when we were arranging those songs. We didn't have any issues in our head. We never played that music. So I was playing all my life jazz and blues and rock and roll. The other guys were playing reggae music. The other was playing techno music. I mean, so we just didn't care about all of that. We were just playing the way we think it should be played. Of course, during all these years, we had a really hard. We are very hard working. We are rehearsing every week for all these years. Always bringing new stuff. Always trying to find something new that we can, some new approach to the songs, some new approach to the music, some new approach to that that part of the country or whatever. Like Balkans are really, you cannot finish it. I mean, it's it's incredible what happened there with the music and with the art itself. uh, so when we start new songs, we are proposing the songs more or less, three or four of us, but more or less everybody can propose the song. We don't have a we just bring the song. We are like, this is a nice song, maybe we can. Now of course we have a lot of experience and we know if it's going to work or not, and then we start a long process. Usually me or the guitar player will pick the arrangements. We are but the idea of arrangement, not whole arrangement, never, because we are trying. We do one song for 1 month. I mean, we are every rehearsal again and again and trying this and trying that, see if it works. Usually we are not wrong; they work at the end. But there's some songs that we try and they never work, so we never bring them to the audience. But that's the way we like to do. And in those rehearsals, everybody, we are all the same. I mean, we are all bringing the piece of ourselves that new story that we brought.
Possibly what you said, that you didn't have experience in traditional music, maybe is that what is different, because
Yeah, I'm sure because we didn't have, I'm sure that a lot of people who is playing traditional music, they are thinking maybe that we don't know how to play. We don't care about that. We are just playing music like we always did. Like all the musical heroes that I have, they did the same with their music. They were just telling the stories with the language that they have. Of course, we are expanding that language. Of course, we are learning new words. We are trying to do. It's like when you write a book, you have to write a book with your words, but those words, they're not yours. You heard of those words. So I think that's the main thing. What make us who we are nowadays, and that's the arrangements and our point of view. And of course, in the last 3 or 4 years, those original tunes that we had, I think that's also a big. When we felt ready, we started with the original songs. It was impossible before. It's very hard.
are the singers taught by you Serbian language, or they have a lessons, or
She's doing, yeah, with me of course, but then sometimes with some friends that we have here, because I'm not maybe the right person, for that, because I'm getting nervous. I get mad now, but she's really hard working. Sandra at the beginning and Margarita now, they really spend a lot of time. There is not so many bands. I think that's also one of the our strength is that there's no bands that they're playing like on 6 or 7 languages. That's why we are working a lot. I think on everywhere, because everywhere you can find people from Balkans. You can find Romanian, you can find Bulgarian, but we are playing their songs. We are not playing Serbian music. We are not playing Bulgarian music. We are playing Balkan music. Six languages. What can we do? That's the way how it is. So they're working very hard always to learn those, to try to pronounce it well, to try to improve. That's the hard work. I know, but that's the only way.
Well done. Big musicians do learn languages a bit easier, people say. So possibly that helps. And that gets me back to your score page, because not many bands have music available. And I really enjoyed strolling through your page on website, which is called the Scores, and you displayed lots of traditional songs there. And as I lived in Cyprus for a few years and I was teaching there, I looked at the Greek song because I noticed on your CD. I really enjoy one Greek song that you are performing, and I was very thrilled when I recognized one of them. It's called Hazapiko Politico, and and that was what I was teaching students in Cyprus. And I must say, because I'm a classically trained musician, as you probably, and never played traditional songs before, that was quite experienced in Cyprus teaching students traditional songs. So I have to say I learned as much as they learned from me. I learned.
Yeah,
There
it
was this
happens.
boy who was much better in putting the chords into and the rhythms, and I was watching really carefully to look what he's doing to copy and present to my other students. As you said, you haven't been playing traditional music before, and so this is your first experience that you started in Spain, which is quite often the case with people trained classically. But you are also a blues and jazz musician, and you're a member of many other bands. Can you tell us a bit about that side of your career?
Yeah, I mean, we are all like always have the different projects going on because we have that curiosity, musical curiosity that we cannot just turn off. So we need also some other places where we can discover some new stuff. I started as a rock and roll bass player with my friends, when I was young, when I finished first piano. But then I started with double bass, and I played rock and roll for many years, and then I started with jazz, studied jazz in Belgrade, and then I moved to Barcelona to continue studying. I'm basically jazz musician, blues musicians. Blues musician. Have here. I'm leading a big band. I have a big band that it's playing blues music. I always like to have that connection with I write arrangements. I always write to to write horn arrangements. Um, so I also have some jazz bands, and I just need it. It's a musical curiosity. It's not, of course, any other need. I mean, we have a lot of work, and actually it makes my life complicated, much more complicated. I still have a rock and roll band here that works a lot for also like even more like for 15 years. So each of us trying to, like I said, trying to get bigger that language that we have, and then we are still putting that in the Barcelona Gypsy Balkan Orchestra, as well as I'm putting the language of Balkan music in the other styles. I cannot avoid it. I mean, it's impossible. I'm just trying because all the bands are like have original repertoires. I'm not playing like in music that I have projects. I have like another band that are like a big band, but it's mixing. Like I think it's very interesting, for all of us. We still have that, and we're gonna keep on doing this. And just we just know that it's the way that we can grow as a band, and each of us.
Yes, world music nowadays is a mixture of lots of styles, which is really great to develop our separate styles and join it all together, as you say. That's really great. And in composing as well, like composers also use
Yeah, of
different
course.
styles to mix it together, which makes so interesting nowadays, so open. And you are at the moment only one Serbian musician. Has it always been the case, or there is some other Serbian musicians before in the band?
Yes, a Serbian musician made the band, so it was his idea to make this band, but then he had a lot of other work, so he couldn't keep on with us. He was the only one from
That's
Serbia,
great.
actually. Yeah, now we don't have anyone else from Balkans. We had a Greek guy, but I'm not. I'm the only one from Balkans now. The thing is that our violin player, who's playing now with us for a couple of years, he's a Spanish guy, but his wife is from Belgrade, so he speaks fluently Serbian, and I think he knows about Serbia more than me. I mean, he's traveling to Serbia more than me. He's in love in our culture. He speaks really good, so that's quite helpful.
Yeah, what is the name of the first Serbian musician that found?
Robindro Nikolic. Robindro Nikolic. He grew up in Belgrade, and he moved to Austria to study classical music with the clarinet, and then he moved to Barcelona. He's still actually around, but I haven't seen him for a while.
Maybe he will come to one of the concerts.
Maybe, yeah.
Possibly. As you mentioned, like keeping in touch with the Serbia, for all of us who live abroad, we get disconnected at some point, and maybe we don't follow so much nowadays Serbian music scene. So as you are playing balkan music, are you really relying mostly on traditional balkan music that you know from before, or you are expanding to find out what is happening at this moment?
We are trying to be on. It's very hard. It's very hard, but we are trying to keep on discovering all these things that are happening now, because there's some really interesting stuff that people are doing in everywhere. It's like for last maybe 20 or 30 years, there was a lot of bands that are making from Balkan music something they should have been done a long time ago. Like, because traditional music has that problem with that word, traditional. It's just a word. So there was, for many years, the only way that traditional music was changed was in a bad way. Was in the 90s, when the Balkan music was completely devastated by all these horrible ideas that they put out in our heads. I couldn't even think about Balkan music, until I tried to find out really the roots of Balkan music. It's not what I heard in 90s. That's not Balkan music. I mean, it's what it is, whatever. But I think that happens to a lot of us. Like we just couldn't pass through that. And once you pass through that, you can find out that there's a lot of great traditional music from each of these countries, from each of this area, from each of these parts of Balkan.
Yeah, I have to say, in classical music was slightly different before 90s. Playing traditional song wasn't even really.
No.
All our composers try to copy Western music.
Yeah.
And after 90s, suddenly the traditional music came into classical music, which is quite nice. First, we were kind of watching from outside a bit. Oh, maybe it's not cool, but from then we actually discovered lots of classical pieces, which is quite nice to get the mixture.
Exactly.
It is very popular outside of Balkans, like in UK, in England, playing out traditional songs. It seems very popular in classical music as well, not just as world music and pop and rock bands and other. You are also as a part of playing this traditional music, you started to arrange and to compose some music, and there is a song, Tisom Tishe. Is it that the first one that you composed, or there was
one of we are composing all these years, but only instrumental songs, because of course instrumental is not the problem. The problem was to do the lyrics. So fortunately, we are surrounded with some very talented people in our small group of, not just a band, with also. So we had one friend that she wrote this letter. It's together with my wife. She's also from Belgrade. Iva Knežević is her name. That's the wife that I told you from the violin player. She's incredibly talented. She's not a musician, but she has a talent that I would like to have it. So she wrote the letter, the lyrics, and I wrote arrangement. And actually, it starts like idea with when we start a collaboration with Fraile. That starts like with that lyrics, and then it changed, and then so we cut that song, and the other song was Chorbaro, the one that they came up together. Like that song, Margarita wrote with music, and the lyrics wrote her friend. It's Romanian Gypsy. So I don't understand the word, of course, but I mean I know what it talks about, but I don't. So I think that we were just lucky that we have the people like that in our, like close to us, So I think that's it, and we are still trying to do that. Also, the song Odebra do Dunava, it's the music is Shaban Bajramović, but my sister wrote those lyrics, and that's really interesting. That's the first song that we can say that it's like our song, because the lyrics are our lyrics. I mean So I hope we're gonna keep on doing that, because that's what give us something that nobody else can do, worse or better. nobody else can do, like. So yeah, we are very grateful for that, people.
I will put a little bit of a clip of that song just for to give us a taste.
Češio, trajește ciuciarșio. No se avero de čara, da se drugo i obećava, no se avero da glode, da ga svojim druga zove. Slavni konac pazarila, svome dragom slobom veže, al mi došli čezom melom, volim lali slugi melom, more skela ti sam kiše. Videti ga neću više, aj gire upregnite, okitite sladove, meni begeš daj da čujem i sa sudbom da tugujem, ma neka pukne puška, nek se čuje vaša pesma, kad već meni ime vezem zlatom, da do tvoga nije dato, da ti ime vezem ja.
Bit of atmosphere of proper Balkans, and it looks in Vojvodina, I assume.
One of the best places to go to visit, to have great food, to have great friends, and it's our one of our favorite places to go when we are around. It's Salash 137 near Novi Sad. It's a very, very beautiful place. They're really nice people, and the food is what can we expect? Yeah, as the song has that flavor, like the Vojvodina, like that North Serbia kind of rhythms and kind of even instruments. That's why we recorded there with all those gypsies that they are playing. Actually, they are almost every day. We know them for many years. They were really happy to come to help us with the video, because they're actually big fans. So it was, and we are their fans. So it was great fun. It was great fun. Yeah, part of that concert at the end was recorded in a one of the greatest concerts that we had in Belgrade, in open air. Finally, that people could dance, and people was, like it was. I like that video, that especially because it reminds me on one really, really good year, actually.
Yeah, I say have to say in Kolarec, and I wasn't really exactly.
Kolarec was great. Yeah, Kolarec was great, but yeah.
That's a bit strange. Sava Center is obviously a better place where you performed before, and I heard the comment, "Oh, in Sava Center we could really dance, but in Kolarec it reserved." And it was still plenty of space to dance. Now, I want to talk with you about other subjects. Here in England, especially in London, we have many Serbian musicians, and we are really pleased that we managed to connect and to collaborate in various projects, as obviously you do in Barcelona as well. And there is a Serbian Month catalog, which I don't know, have you seen, but maybe not. It's a publication which presents artists from, not just musicians, but also painters and writers and artists from UK. And we are very lucky that that way we can keep our culture alive, because it's many of us here. I would like to ask you, how is in Spain? Do you have many other Serbian musicians there, or artists in general, or not so much, because Barcelona and Spain are smaller than England? And how is the situation there?
I think. mm, we have some, of course. We have a lot of there was a lot of musicians going through Barcelona for all these years and going back, going again here, especially jazz musicians. That's interesting. I There's a lot of jazz musicians came in the last years because there's a really good school now here that it's like running for last maybe 15 or 20 years. So it makes like community, like that's always happens with a good schools, jazz school. Uh, I'm not actually the guy who is moving a lot with with all these in those, how can I say, uh, in those groups of people. But I know that there are some Serbians. This is not a country. I mean, we play there all around the world. I saw some countries that you can speak Serbian on the street and everybody will understand you. And that's not the case here. So there are not a lot of us, but still there's some people there, and especially artists. There's some painters in up in north in Costa Brava and all this. I know some guys, but I'm not. We're not getting together. So you're lucky. You're doing that better. We are not. We are not so close to each other. We should be, but. We see each other sometimes. We have some manifestations, of course, something to complain about. But apart from that, yeah, we are not so close. But yeah, of course it is. Especially they told me, I don't know that. Especially Madrid has a lot of our people who is doing there some interesting, very interesting stuff. I guess it's a capital still.
Yeah, like I mentioned London, it's not the case. But in England, we have other places like Birmingham that you will play, and
Yeah.
Leicester, Halifax, and there are communities that are our churches. There are
Mm.
several churches all around the UK. So that's also quite interesting. Maybe not the case in Spain.
Yeah, we don't have a church here actually. There is some idea of a church, but it's not a Serbian church. But I just passed yesterday by Romanian Orthodox Church. We have a Russian Orthodox Church, but there's no Serbian Orthodox Church in
And
Barcelona.
maybe that's
So,
beginning because this is how it started before. Now churches are not the main thing. There's so many other.
exactly. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, we don't
Do
have
you
that.
know
I
any
don't know.
organization? Is it any Serbian organization that you heard about it, or you didn't hear about any Serbian organization? If you
No.
research
Yeah,
that,
we just get organized when there's some problem. We just
that's
get when there was a flood in Serbia, like when was that? Like 7, 8 years ago, or 10 even maybe. We there was a big organization that we did a concert. They called us to play the concert just to raise the money to help Serbia out to help. So we did that. But when there's some problem, we get together. If not, we are just.
maybe if you have time, or the wives of your wife and other ladies which are
Yeah.
interesting, maybe you should start to organize something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Serbian Music Society.
When we find time. Yeah.
Maybe later on, and maybe our children later on. This is our fear that we will lose it because younger people are not so interested in what.
Yeah.
But let's hope we will keep going on.
Yeah.
I looked your events list, and you are very busy. And in February, March, it's extremely busy. After UK and to contact UK, you have 13 more contact line in February, March in Podgorica, in Skopje, in Germany, several in Switzerland. Then you're back to Serbia, Subotica, Novi Sad, then Zagreb, Ljubljana, Split, Rijeka. Really impressive. It will be natural that concerts in Balkans are the best received and the most successful. But is it that the case, or maybe you have some other experience in other countries?
We have some other experience. We have some other. Of course, we are still where we have the most of audience. What by the moment, well, let's see in future. It's Belgrade, Athens, and Istanbul. Istanbul is very good place for us. Turkey generally, but Istanbul is really, very very good place. But yeah, I mean, in Balkans happened something that I didn't expect. Really, I mean, because it's like their music. I mean, what can we do to talk with them about their music? It's like so. I was really surprised when it starts to growing up especially in Serbia. I try to do in Serbia something special always. Like we had some very interesting collaboration with some artists, like with Bora Dugic. We brought Bora Dugic first to Spain, and then we played in Sava Center with him, and that was our way to show Serbia that our approach to Balkan music is more similar to his approach than maybe from some other artists that they're happening right now. So I think that's why. In Greece, I'm not sure why, but the Greece always works really good. We have this year we have again we are going back to Athens, and we are going back to Sava Center also in Belgrade. You're the first one who knows because they confirmed it yesterday. So
Okay, tell me
we
the
have a
date.
big we are going back to Sava Center. Yeah, so it's gonna be it was always like that. I don't know why. When we first time played Istanbul, it was completely packed. First time. I was shocked. I didn't understand what's it was like back in 2014. And I didn't know how it's possible. I never been there. I'm used to, like old fashioned, you do the first concert, then the second, then the third, and then it's growing. No, we were there and there was like I don't know, 1,500 people there. I was like, well, how? Why? Why internet, YouTube? That's why. So then we realized long time ago that our strength, beside the music and beside the arrangements that we are doing, and then the way that we are playing Balkan music is our videos. That's why we are always producing. We are just about to release a new one, and we are always trying to put music and video together.
Yeah, this is how I heard about you. I didn't know you, and as I was going to Belgrade for holiday, I looked what is happening, and there is some Barcelona band.
Yeah.
I looked, and then I heard on YouTube
Exactly.
music that was yes, I have to go, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the city.
We
And
all do that. Yeah, we all do that. I
YouTube.
always check the YouTube first, to see what's going on and how does it work, how does it look like.
So your life is obviously very busy, and do you have any time to concentrate on something else apart of music, and or that is your life?
Just the music. We are, like I said, we are all doing the different stuff in music, and we are trying. Some of them are teaching. I'm not teaching music because I really don't have time. But there is always some new aspects in music that we discover that we like to record. We like to even not to teach, but I'm trying to do here like more like Balkan music for like master class of Balkan music, like just to introduce people to Balkan music, and we did that many times. And I think that's also some important work to do because in Spain nobody knows anything about Balkan music. I mean, in the schools there's nobody tell them never, but that there is a like other music than the on the other side of the ocean or in Spain. So that's why we are trying, but still it's music. We are in music all day, 24/7. We never stop. We never, yeah. That's our curse.
Yeah, in Britain we have lots of jazz, obviously, even in the examination books, which is great, but that is their thing. And in some examination board books, there are some Balkan composers, classical composers. So we are slowly entering, but I think it's we have really great band Paprika here. It's mainly people from Serbia, really. Yeah, they are as popular as you are in Spain. And they do have some concerts. They are our Balkan band.
Yeah, nice.
And they really developed and became so popular, and they are touring as well as you do. So obviously there is plenty of space for everybody here. But we are looking for concerts next week. And I warmly recommend everybody to go on YouTube and find a little bit more about this.
Yeah, I mean it's our new country. It's our new country. It's getting harder, to find to put that number up. So
this is the new country for today. So we had in UK this year, and hopefully just this year. Just tell me how you found the Birmingham as a place. Is it accidentally, or you knew that there is a big community there?
We didn't know. We did. I mean, also London show and the Birmingham show. There was people from England that they called us to do everything. It's not our idea. I mean, it's not our. We are talking about England for Great Britain. We are talking about it for years, but nobody started that. It's really hard from here to move everything. For because it's Ireland. I mean, you're all different there. I don't know if you know that, but you're all different.
We're not.
No, because it works. The system is different. I played in Great Britain for some years. I played everywhere around the Great Britain. It's really different. I mean, the other kind of music a long time ago, like 15 years ago, and I played blues and rhythm and blues, touring a lot. It's different. It's really different. I mean, everything is, for us, everything is small. I mean, you cannot drive more than 3 hours. For us to drive in Spain, you can drive 14 hours to get to another part of Spain. I mean, it's a big country, so for us, it's everything is near, and there's a lot of culture in Great Britain. I was shocked with all the theaters and all the people coming to the shows. Even they didn't even know who we are. They're just coming to the show because there's a show in a theater, in a local theater.